Here Mickey is ferreting, and Jamie and Graham are trying to shoot any rabbits that are lying out in the reeds. Notice when Mickey puts a net over this hole, he does not put the peg in. The reason being the ground is frozen solid, so he has to be double quick. It's worth mentioning that with freezing conditions like this, it gets very slippy. Another thing is, collars get rather hard with being leather, and when they've been on the ferret for a while, they can warm up and become slack, and they can come off. So you can use a little leather oil to keep them soft. Also, quite a few rabbits lie out in these conditions, but it's not advisable to run a dog. Just look how hard the ground is. This next part is a large reedy field that we have been asked to clear of rabbits. So we have come today to have a quick look about and try the odd warren. Jamie has brought one ferret and half a dozen nets, and I brought Tessa along. It appears to have a dog that will hunt up in these conditions. Here you see Tessa hunting up a little bit and catching the odd rabbit. Also, if Tessa did not hunt, we would have missed this one. Let's see that again. Look how well that rabbit was hidden. Well done, Tessa. As I said, we're just sizing up the area, but Jamie comes away with a few rabbits. Ferreters have to be prepared to go out in all weather, especially if you're employed to keep the rabbit numbers down. As you can see, today it is thick fog and drizzle, but that hasn't dampened Jamie's spirits or that of his dad's. Having said that, the dogs are even enjoying themselves. These two dogs are Jamie's and his dad's, Jim's. Both Biddy and the Henry, the two dogs, are Saluki crosses. And there you can see Biddy making a good quick catch and retrieve. There were some really good catches on this day, but with the fog I missed a lot, although I did manage to get the odd few on. Jamie has a few short, easy digs and adds extra rabbits to the bag. Look how proud his dad is of him. While Jamie ferrets these few Winnie patches, we'll have a word or two on locators. There's only one company, as far as I am aware, that makes locators, although there's a few agents, gun shops, etc. that do sell them for them. The price is around £50 for the locator box and one collar. It is best to have as many collars as you have ferrets, but not everybody can afford to do that. So, if you keep round about 4 ferrets, you will get away with having 2 collars. Always check your locator box and collars before you go out, and always check them just before you enter the ferret into the warren. Always carry spare batteries. You will not believe how many times people have said to me their collars aren't working, and that all they needed was new batteries. And the same thing, but where they've put the batteries in back to front. The easiest way to use a locator when your ferret is underground and you suspect a worry is to turn the locator box to its highest depth and scan the whole warren area until you receive a bleep. Once you have received the bleep, turn the box down slightly, and if you're still getting the bleep, then turn it down some more. Do this until the box goes right off and you're getting no sound. Then turn it up a fraction until you pick the sound up. This way you can pinpoint exactly where the ferret is. Some people dig straight to the mark, others dig one side or the other. The reason for this is they don't want to land on top of the ferret and risk injuring it. So just be careful when you are digging. As you can see here by Richie's t-shirt, it is the middle of summer. Normally we would not be ferreting at this time of year, but the farmer has asked us to clear the rabbits out of this large warren, as they are starting to dig into the field. This time of year, we wouldn't be ferreting at all. We would be shooting, snaring, long netting, and a little lamping maybe with the lurchers. Although with the corn and hay being 2 feet tall, there's not many fields that are lampable. You can see, although it is the summer, that most of the rabbits we get out of this warren are adult rabbits. Here's Darren dawdling a bit. You can see here this rabbit has bolted from one hole into a purse net and tried to get down another hole, and also been caught in that purse net, and has ended up in 2 nets and a very tangled state. Again, this rabbit has done exactly the same. I don't think I've ever been out ferreting and not had to dig a rabbit out at some time in the day. But I've never had to dig for coal, as Richie's trying to do here. A few less rabbits for the farmer to worry about, and now all they've got to do is load the van up with the gear. What a shame it is to see rabbits in such a state. Fair enough, farmers and landowners of today had nothing to do with the spread of this awful disease. But at the same time, by them allowing ferreters, lampers and other sportsmen and women to keep rabbit numbers down, it could also keep this awful disease under control. Mixie was introduced into Britain from Australia, and just like some of the soaps, it should have been kept there. Here, Jamie, Willie and Mickey are ferreting on a hillside. Notice how far away from the warren Jamie places his ferret box. This is because the ferret inside will scratch the bee out. That can be very noisy and could alert rabbits underground, making them very reluctant to bolt. You see here Jamie fitting the collar, and before he enters his ferret he checks to see if it's working. Remember, always check your collars. This next warren Mickey spent ages netting up. He enters his ferrets one at either side of the warren. It's a fair size, and Mickey has missed one bolt hole. And the only rabbit at home today bolts from that same hole. One lucky rabbit. Jamie's having a little more success than Mickey. And here we're getting the collie eye. This next piece shows Mickey, Jamie and Willie ferreting winnies. You can see just how hard it is to get at the holes. In fact, it is impossible to net all of the holes inside these winnies. As an alternative, we net every run in and out of the winnies also. As you can see, Jamie's replacing the net here over a run. This area really is awkward, but you've just got to keep on trying. You can see there all the runs are netted. And Jamie gets a rabbit. Just look where Mickey is getting the worry. He couldn't have picked the worst spot.
Right.
I would hate to think where all of them thorns are getting. But he grins and bears it. You see here Willie's white dog ferret caught in the net as well as the rabbit. This ferret is a very fast worker and is always behind the rabbits as a bolt. Just look how tangled the ferret is. Again, Willie's ferret followed the rabbit right out. Look at the nasty cut Willie's got off a rabbit kicking. And now we have a dispute over who caught the most rabbits.
Where's Mickey? Oh, there's Mickey. Where's your pile, Mickey?
Up until now, you haven't seen many rabbits missed, but all that's going to change as we move into the woods to ferret. Here Jamie and Willie are ferreting a small clump of trees on the edge of a big wood. And now we've moved into the big wood itself. As you've seen there, the rabbit was in the net but shook it off and escaped. As to the advice of clearing warrens the week before you intend to do them, I don't think anybody would like to try and clear these. Instead of trying to clear warrens like this, it could be advisable to look around for well-used runs and place nets over these instead. Then if a rabbit does throw off a purse net, at least you'll get a second chance at it on its run. And anyway, a few missed rabbits isn't the end of the world.
Mickey.
While Mickey, Jamie and Willie ferret the rest of the wood, let's have a little talk on nets. There are quite a few debates about which nets are best and what size the mesh should be. To be honest, I don't know what all the fuss is about. We use all kinds of nets. Nylon nets that have been bought at country shows, hemp nets that have been handmade, and even nets that have been made by cutting down long nets. And they all work when set properly. One thing to mention again is that when setting nets in woods, take your time, because one little twig in the way will stop your net person quick enough and the rabbit will soon kick free and be on its way.
Turn this way, Mick.
Another thing to remember, always check your nets for damage. Any net that is damaged and can't be repaired, throw it straight away. Never keep using it, as you can bet if you do, the rabbits will bolt into that very net and make their escape. You could always make your own nets if you have the time, but to be honest, nets bought at shops and country shows are cheap enough, and it doesn't really pay to make your own. Take extra care when ferreting in the woods. There are dangers like low-level branches. Watch Macca's hat as he goes for this rabbit. A few inches lower and that could have been really dangerous.